Jaheim Bell is likely the player I receive the most questions about on the New England Patriots roster. I think he's an incredibly intriguing prospect in last year's draft and had a strong start to the 2023 season at Florida State. So much so, I thought he was going to have a Harold Fannin Jr. type season for them. At that point, I thought he was a clean target for the Patriots that fall, but little did I know the Patriots were going to go and make some major changes. And after that, Jaheim fell off my board because I just didn't know if he was going to be a fit. Then, they drafted him late on day 3. And I'll admit it, I didn't highlight Jaheim Bell last year after the draft. And in hindsight, he was easily the Patriots' best value pick in the 2024 draft. Coming out of college, Bell brought a unique hybrid profile to the roster, which New England hadn't seen in a long time. And it was obvious they didn't know what to do with him, and he had a pretty much lackluster rookie campaign, despite having significant upside. With Josh McDaniels now back in the fold as an offensive coordinator, Bell is the exact kind of versatile chess piece who could find new life and become a matchup nightmare in a reimagined Patriots offense. And the thing is, his value could increase even more this offseason if the team starts experimenting with multiple tight ends, fullbacks, and H-backs, and there's also some uncertainty around in the backfield and at the tight end position. Now, Jaheim's college production is more unique than it is, you would say, dominant, but that's the larger result of how he was used. Over 4 collegiate seasons split between South Carolina and Florida State, Bell totaled 85 receptions for 1,029 yards, which is a little bit over 12 yards per reception and 7 TDs. However, he also had 92 carries for 415 yards, which is 4.5 yards per carry and 6 rushing TDs. Notably, that 2022 season at South Carolina really stands out. Due to injuries, he was thrust into a running back role, logging 73 carries, often between the tackles, and showing off impressive vision burst for a tight end. That versatility continued at Florida State, where he operated more as a movable offensive weapon, catching 39 passes and scoring 5 touchdowns in 2023. Despite being considered undersized for a traditional tight end at 6'2", 241, Bell showcased impressive athleticism at the 2024 Combine, where he ran 4.61, which is one of the fastest tight ends. His 10-yard split, 1.58, so good burst. Vertical jump, 35 inches, and his broad was 10'4". All of these being top 5 or better amongst tight ends. But yet somehow Jaheim dropped all the way to the 7th round, where the Patriots took him at 231st overall pick. In that rookie season, he had a limited role. He appeared in 15 games, but only recorded 2 receptions for 20 yards. With his offensive snap share was extremely modest, with 5.5% route participation and an 8.3 snap share. But he did contribute on special teams. But I will make note, he did receive increasing attention late in the year as a gadget and personnel piece. He lined up in multiple roles during the preseason too, and in season, and also did some noticeable work at camp, with him lining up at tight end, slot, motion H-back, and even a few snaps in the backfield. Which is why I think Josh McDaniels can definitely get the most out of him, because he historically favors hybrid tight ends who can align all over the field. For example, Aaron Hernandez, Jonnu Smith, and Bell fits that archetype. I expect Bell to motion frequently pre-snap to create leverage or expose coverage tells. He can also be used on jet sweeps, orbit motion, misdirection screens, especially from condensed formations. Obviously, he can serve as a goal line or short yardage back if they really need to, give him that jumbo personnel package without tipping the run. He can also match up on linebackers in the passing game, particularly on seams, crossers, and option routes from the slot or H-back alignments. Which is interesting because you can kind of see him as more of a Jonnu Smith type hybrid, which I thought was a very natural comp for him. Both players being that 6'2", 6'3", and hover around that 240, 245 pounds. Compact, muscular build, exceptional short area burst, lower body explosion, which is why Jonnu is a great mismatch creator in space. So they both match up. Now, Jonnu being a former Patriot, he was often used in pre-stat motion, flexed out wide, and aligned off the line of scrimmage as an H-back to create deceptive looks. I expect Bell to fill a similar role, especially if he proves capable of handling the run-pass conflict reads McDaniel builds into his formation. This could mean, again, that jet sweep motion orbit fly action to pull defenders horizontally. Play action leak routes, those are dangerous for him. Saw some similar stuff for him out of Florida State, where he starts off as a blocker before releasing late into the flat or the seam. And the split back formations, that's another interesting one where Bell motions into the backfield to act as a lead blocker, check down target, or even a ball carrier, just like his 92 collegiate rushing attempts. Now there's also some other comparisons, like Cordarrelle Patterson, who redefined the idea of the, quote, wide back, a wide receiver who can seamlessly operate as a running back. Now, Bell isn't a wide receiver by trade, but his ability to carry the ball like a natural runner, paired with his explosive acceleration, and him being a pass catcher, gives him a Patterson-heavy potential, especially in design touches and manufactured space. And if you go back and you watch the South Carolina tape, I mean, yeah, Bell has vision. He has burst through contact. He does have that one-cut running style that Patterson had. Sticks his foot in the ground and goes, showing solid anticipation in inside zone, counter looks similar to how Atlanta has used Patterson behind the pullers. He also does have those same explosive metrics. Bell's 35-inch vert, 10-foot broad, very similar to Patterson's 38-inch vert and 10-foot broad. Again, putting him in the same similar burst categories, just a heavier version. If McDaniels wants to create confusion with motion and backfield multiplicity, like he did with Cordarrelle, hey, we saw that with Arthur Smith in Atlanta, using him in the same way. So Bell could be used as a package-specific hybrid back, getting like maybe 3 to 5 touches per game with high upside, if need be. Now, there's another comp that you can put Bell in. Now, this would be more from the running back side versus the tight end side, but Bell's frame does match up very closely with Brandon Bolden, and that's, I think, a pretty decent comp for the running back style. Bolden carved out a decade-long career under McDaniels, not just as a primary back, but just kind of that jack of all trades. Decent pass protector, special teams ace, screen game threat, also a pretty good third down chess piece. Jaheim has similar traits to that. Physical downhill runner. Again, going back to the South Carolina, he was a physical downhill runner. He isn't afraid of contact, lowers his shoulders on inside zone plays, finishes runs through contact like Bolden did in short yardage. And Bell has a lot of screen and flare upside potential, and that's the same thing that Bolden was good at, right? Excellent for slipping out late into that flat or catching outlet passes on design dump-offs. And of course, there's the special teams comp. That's where Bell was starting to excel last year, and same thing with Bolden. Bolden made his bones early on as a 4-phase special teamer, and again, Bell has the same build, toughness, and functional athleticism to do the same and stick. So while Jaheim Bell isn't exactly Jonnu Smith, he isn't exactly Cordarrelle, and he's not exactly Brandon Bolden, he's shared distinct traits from all three. Now, his natural position being more of an H-back obviously makes him a strong comp for Jonnu, but maybe some Patterson-like explosiveness as a ball carrier with some vision, and the Bolden-like tough, versatile utility player who can block, catch, run, and play teams. This hybrid utility is exactly what McDaniels covets in the back half of his roster. It gives Bell a blueprint for success. If he can master his assignments, special teams value, and ball security, he could evolve into one of New England's most uniquely useful weapons. Now, I could see him being in like a 12 personnel, like a tight end flex package, where you got Ramondre or Antonio with Hunter Henry in there, in line, and then you can put Jaheim kind of like in the H-back / slot motion man, and you can put like Diggs and Polk out there with like a pre-snap look of like traditional ace formation, Bell's lined up just off the hip with the right tackle. And before the snap, Bell motions into the backfield, flipping the strength and forcing the defense to adjust. Now from there, you got play action boot. You can do a split zone run where Bell shifts across the formation like an H-back. You got the backside defender. You can do like a jet sweep fake, which turns into a lead block where Bell motion across, fakes the sweep if handed to Gibson, and Bell seals the edge. And of course, there's the screen game from this. Bell peels off to the line to receive a shovel or a simple slip screen. This would keep defenses guessing as Bell is the blocker or like the decoy or just a real easy touch target. It mimics how McDaniels used Jonnu on heavy motion zone reads and counter plays in that 20 to 21. You can also do 21 personnel, where you got the pony gun or like a fullback flex, Ramondre being the RB1, Jaheim being that fullback / H-back hybrid. And you still have Hunter Henry out there. And then you would probably go, I would think, with Jalen Polk or Booty and maybe Demario Douglas out there, where you got like a shotgun set with Stevenson to the left of the QB and Bell lined up on the offset fullback to the right. This would mimic McDaniel's pony look that they used to use with Brandon Bolden and James White in the past. From here, you got lots of play possibilities. Interesting one, like a swing pass to Bell, inside zone handoff to Bell. Defense expects Stevenson to get it, but Bell hits it downhill like Bolden or Patterson. You can also do some like RPO with Bell in motion. You can do like an orbit behind the QB to become a bubble screen option or like a jet sweep option. And of course, there's something similar like a split back pass pro. Bell helps pick up the blitz, then leaks into the flat or in the middle of the zone for an easy check down. This is interesting because Bell's experience carrying the football at South Carolina and at Florida State for a little bit means they aren't just gadget plays. He can function like a legit running back, just as Patterson did for New England, Atlanta, or Bolden was doing in New England's third down packages. And you can just have him as like a simple 11 personnel kind of flex formation where he's kind of working as like a slot wide receiver. Just have him come in on jet sweep or orbit motion or bubble screen. And that would be more like, I guess, the Cordarrelle Patterson look, where the 21 personnel would be kind of like the Brandon Bolden, and then like the 12 personnel, like Y off H back, motion decoy, boot leak type of thing would be Jonnu Smith. So you can see how there's like the comps that I have going. It's not necessarily trying to match him up because he is that player, but it's finding how McDaniels could see him. And what's noticeable about this is that if you're to basically do a timeline of some of these guys, that is like a lineage, right? There's Bolden and Patterson and Smith. I mean, there's a little bit of overlap there, but you can see how there's always at least one of those types of guys for McDaniels in the second half of the dynasty. And it's not like you have to mold him into this. The guy has experience as a tight end, as an H-back, as a running back. So it's just simply, can McDaniels just write him in, and does he trust him to do it? And I'm not saying like this is going to be like some massive production, but why not 30 to 40 targets? Why not 20 to 25 receptions for like, let's say like 300 yards? Maybe he does like 10 or 15 rushing attempts. That's great. That keeps the defense guessing what he's doing out there. And that could lead to 3 to 4 total touchdowns if used creatively in the red zone. See what I'm saying? And the guy's actually not that bad at blocking. He definitely needs to work on it. But I would say out of the three of Jonnu, Cordarrelle, and Brandon Bolden, I think Bell has potential to be a better blocker than all of them. But, I mean, that's essentially the point, right? He's a multi-dimensional weapon whose blend of athleticism, versatility, and toughness allows him to mirror the utility of past McDaniels standouts. So, if he continues to develop his understanding of the playbook, excels on special teams, and cleans up ball security, Bell could become one of the Patriots' most uniquely valuable weapons in 2025. So, what do you guys think of Bell? Do you see him making the roster? Can he become a Jonnu Smith / Cordarrelle Patterson / Brandon Bolden? Or is he something completely different? Let me know in the comment section below. If you guys like this content, please like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.